Hi and welcome back. I'm George Pierce and I want to thank you for watching. I appreciate it. This video is about how you can create a killer thank you page. Before we get to the training, I just want to remind you that this channel is all about helping you to grow your YouTube channel and or make money online. So if you're interested in growing a YouTube channel or making money online, then go ahead and subscribe and ring the bell. That way you won't miss out on future videos. And I do want to ask you to stay to the end because I'm going to share a tip with you. And the tip's going to really save you a lot of time. So stick around to the end. And the other thing I want to share with you is if you'll give us a like and a comment, you'll be eligible for our shout-out drawing. And our shout-out drawing, you will find a link below. I do make a couple of shout-outs. Actually, there's 4 shout-outs that I'll be making usually each week, sometimes more, so that will make you eligible for that. Now let's get right to the training. The first thing that your thank you page is going to allow you to do, it's going to allow you to introduce yourself. So one of the things that I suggest is to introduce yourself, and I'll show you how to do each of these things here in just a little bit. I'm also going to leave a link below to a couple of thank you pages, and that should help you. You get to let your new subscriber know who you are, or who that email is going to be coming from. And this is extremely important. See, the thank you page, that's the page, or the success page, that's the page that you want them to go to after they hit submit or join or whatever. Once they opt into your list as a subscriber, then this is the page that you want to send them to. And typically, you want to send them to that page, not directly to the affiliate or whatever it is that they've opted in for, whether it's an affiliate or a webinar or whatever it might be. You typically want them to go to that thank you page. Now, the thank you page is, again, who that email is coming from is extremely important, because if they know that it's coming from you and you actually have had a little bit of a chance to introduce yourself, then they're going to be more likely to open your email. So the thank you page has got an awful lot to do with the success of your open rate. It's a very, very important first step. So I hope that you will pay attention. I also encourage you to maybe even hit Control D if you want to go back and watch this video the second or third time, because this is that important. If you're going to invest your time and your money into a list, then for goodness sakes, get the most value in return. And part of that first step is that thank you page. The third thing that I like to do is to give them a surprise gift or a surprise bonus or a surprise. Hey, here's a surprise, and it's typically a free, some kind of a free download. Why would that be a plus? Because it helps them to be more likely to, again, to do what you're going to ask them next, and that is to go to your confirmation page. It's going to, again, what you're doing when you do stuff for people, and I don't want you to do stuff. I am very much into giving, and I am addicted to giving, and I love to give, and I get so much in return I could never give enough to make up for it. On the other hand, when I began giving, I began for all the wrong reasons, and we're getting off track here. But if you will give, then people automatically, not everybody, but most people still feel like they need to reciprocate. So if you'll give them something extra over and above, they feel even more obligated to reciprocate, and therefore they're much more likely to continue as far as the process goes. And the process is a funnel, and this is part of your sales funnel. And the next step in the process is to remind them that they need to open the confirmation email. to let them know that they've just received a confirmation email and they need to open it, and that way they're going to get your bonus that you had promised them. So, and again, I'll show you how this really flows quite well on the thank you page. You also get to do what's called an add-on. You don't have to do this. You can do a free add-on. That's okay, but this is a good opportunity to go for a paid add-on. So I would say anywhere between $7 and $47, 37 to 47. That, in my opinion, possibly 7 to 97 would work. I have pretty good luck with a $37 or $47 add-on on my. This is not even in my email. They haven't even opened the first email, and there's a good chance that they might buy my offer. So I will show you how that works also. So the next thing that I want to share with you is that you get to give them a link for help, for service, for sales. You get to give them some kind of a contact link, a contact page. If they have a problem and they don't get your email or whatever, what are they going to do? Well, this gives you a chance to save it, so to speak. So it's important. This is it adds to the legitimacy of you and your offer and whatever you stand for, your product, your company, etc. So it's almost a type of branding, and it's for your benefit as well, in addition to their benefit. Because if they don't get the email or what have you, they can. You still may not lose that new subscriber because you have included a way for them to contact you. Next thing is that you get to remind them to look for your email in the spam section. If they don't get your email, you get to remind them to go to the spam section, and that your email will be from whatever address it is. And the other thing you're going to be able to do is give them what are called whitelist instructions. Now, you can do this with a link to a whitelist page. I prefer to leave some quick, easy whitelist information on that page. The reason why I do that is I am of the old school thinking that if I don't do most of the stuff, in other words, if I don't make this as easy as possible, they're not going to do it. So if I give them a link, they're not going to click the link. But if I stick it right in front of their nose, there's a better chance they're going to at least read it. And if they need to use it, they'll take advantage of it. So you get to give them what is called whitelisting information, which is simply how to get your emails through the spam filter. And even though I have a spam checker, and you should check for spam, or hopefully you have a spam checker, and most of my spam is 0, which means it's as spam free as possible. It should get through. There's always that chance that it's going to go to spam. So these are precautions that you want to take, because this is a brand new subscriber. You don't want to lose it. You don't want to lose a brand new subscriber. So these are things that are going to help you to keep that subscriber and make sure that the subscriber opens that confirmation email, and make sure the subscriber opens future email. The other thing I want to share with you is that typically when I do an add-on, what I usually do, and I'll show you on the actual page how this works, but typically I will put something like sincerely or rooting for you or I'm on your side or whatever. George Pierce, Internet Marketer Training or Internet Marketing Training Center, Internet Marketing Training Channel, Win It Losing Weight, whatever title is applicable, then I'm going to put that on below my name, and then I'm going to put that contact information, and then I'm going to put PS. PS. Why I'm going to put a PS is that is the most read part of an email. This is not an email, but I've set it up more or less like an email. And that PS is going to draw them to my add-on. So I'm going to include the add-on in my PS, and I'm also going to, this is a little added trick in a sense, so maybe number 10 if you want to call it that, I'm also going to include that add-on as a surprise, as a bonus, as that type of thing. So even though it's going to be a paid, even though it's going to be paid, it's going to be the kind of opportunity where they've got to opt in typically for maybe a webinar or something like that, so that they're going to get something. They're going to opt in for some free training, but also kind of a free sales pitch. So that's typically what I am looking for. Now that's over and above this thank you page. But typically when I'm going to do an add-on, it's typically a webinar type of add-on or that kind of thing, because then it's still free, but it's not, if that makes any sense. It's free to watch the webinar. It's free to go to the webinar, but then the webinar is usually a very solid training, but also solid sales opportunity. So I've got a good chance of making an additional sale. In addition, the other thing that I usually do is, again, I will add a free gift over and above the add-on. I'm going to add a free gift, as I say, and that, in my opinion, helps to kind of cement things just a little bit more. The last thing that I want to share with you is that I try to include some kind of humor, and you'll see how I do that. I don't necessarily, and on a sales page or something like that, I might omit humor altogether, but this is still almost as important as a sales page. So I don't get funny as far as my text, but I usually try to work in a couple of humorous images. And I try to use images to help my story or help whatever I'm trying to do, and you'll see what I'm talking about in this. And I'm going to share a link to that. Do not copy and paste what I do, only because it's going to hurt you. It's duplicate content. Google, Facebook, YouTube, etc., they do not like duplicate content, so that's not going to help you. But you can use it as a guideline, modify it to your own situation, put in your own images, and it should make a major difference. I can't promise you anything, of course, but it really should make a major difference in what happens as far as your confirmation emails. They're going to get open, and it'll make a big difference in your open rate. You'll see your open rate will go up. Next thing I want to do is take you to the actual thank you page and show you how all this fits together. And this is what I've done is I've taken you to one of my thank you pages. And this particular thank you page is my image. You can use something like Yes You Can or whatever. You do not have to. If you want to make something like this and don't have the tools, Pixlr, you'll find a link below, but pixlr.com is a free tool that will allow you to do this. Remove background, remove.bg is a tool that will help you to remove the background, and your own camera, either your phone or your computer should have a camera built in, etc. This is pretty easy as far as getting the image. Again, now it says George Pierce. You want to introduce, I am George Pierce. Introduce yourself, and then it might be the name of your company, the name of your product, etc. Congratulations or welcome. I am George Pierce. As promised, I am sending your bonus. Well, they have visited my opt-in page. They visited my squeeze page, and I have offered them a bonus. Now, in this particular case, I'm not naming the bonus. And what we're doing is you're going to see how this ties in with my killer tip at the end. You've already received an email to confirm your address. Open it and click Confirm Now so that your bonus can be delivered. If my mail is not in your inbox, check your spam and click Not Spam. I'm asking them to do a few simple steps, but I'm ensuring that they open the email, that they confirm that, and that way they will get their bonus, and also to look in the spam if they don't get the email. The email will be from George Pierce, IMTC. In this particular, in most of my emails, they're going to be from George Pierce.imtc. Rooting for you. I'm on your side. Sincerely, George Pierce. Whatever might be applicable to your representative of a certain company, owner of a certain company, and so on. And should you need customer support, admin@ggpierce.com, or you could also leave a link to a contact page and so on. So you've also given them a link to be able to get a hold of you, And P.S. Consider this special offer. Now, this special offer right here is going to take them to an add-on. And this is the add-on page. The special offer is automated viral app siphons. Profit from 70,000 free source. So this is an excellent offer. This is on ClickBank. All you got to do is go to ClickBank and type in viral app siphons profit, and it should take you right to it. And you can make an offer similar to this if you wanted to. So this is my add-on, and this is where it's going to take them. This is not going to show on the page. I'm not on that page. To get back to the page, as you can see, that's not showing here. Then I've got surprise gift, and you notice this is in red. Not too crazy about using red since it can get overdone, but I don't want them to miss the rest. I don't want them to miss the rest of this page. So surprise gift, that should get their attention. This is a good gift, by the way. That's something that you don't give them a piece of junk. Give them a quality gift. This is a quality ebook. It really is. Download now, so they can get the download immediately, even if they never open your email. That's okay. And then some kind of an arrow before you go to ensure. I've just told them to go to spam and so on, but here are my whitelist ingredients. And notice I've got Charlie Brown. So I'm trying to add a little bit of humor and also a little bit that will help with attention. Admin@ggpierce.com, or whatever email is applicable. Add this email to and this is a simple whitelist, very simple whitelist directions. You can also have a whitelist. And again, another semi-humorous picture. Humor makes us more receptive to whatever it is that makes our reader more receptive to whatever it is that we are sharing. And also, right kind of humor is going to add to our story. It's going to enhance our story. So, and now I want to share with you my bonus tip. And what I've done is taken you to essentially the same page, changed specifically for John Crestani. And what it is the high ticket hijacker. It's an excellent tool, but it doesn't do everything that I want it to do. Even though I want to cover all these things. So that's why I'm going to send them to this page, and then look at what I'm going to do here. Here's the download that I promised them, and I'm telling them that it's coming. Okay, I'm not giving it to them, that it's coming. Click here to continue. This is not going to take them to the download. It's going to take them to the webinar, okay, or to the webinar page so that they can sign up for the webinar. Okay, so click to continue, and then there's still PS, consider this special offer. This again is going to take them to the viral app. Surprise gift. So this is essentially the same page, okay, except that I have used it, and all I did was make a minor modification. And typically what I will try to do is use this same page for every page. In this case, I had to include I needed to include a link to go to the webinar or to go to the webinar sign up. And so therefore I had to modify the page to include this link, or include this button. And I opted to go with a button. Why? Because the button is more likely to get clicked if I do it right. The button is right above the PS, so it's still very, very likely to continue. And if you put continue or click to continue, there's a very, very high, virtually 100% chance that they are going to click to continue. It's just fortunately something they're going to do. So this is a very effective way to get them to take that next step. But this is part of the funnel, because this is generic. As promised, I'm sending your bonus. In most cases, I can use this same sales page again and again and again and again, as long as the products are in the same niche. As long as they're in the same niche, I can use this over and over and over again, unless I need to do something like add a continue button. And if I'm going to add a continue button, then I'm going to go ahead and put a copy of the gift on here. I don't have to, but I'm going to, since I'm at it. But I could have just done the button, and that would have actually worked. So what I'm sharing with you again is this is the kind of thing that once you do it the first time, then you have a template that you can use and modify for virtually every campaign. And I want you to put it in the back of your mind to try to set up your campaign so that you can use the same page for every campaign. Then you don't have to create a thank you or a success page. You can just simply send them to the one that's already there. And then if you can also use the same campaign. If you give away the same gift, or even if it isn't the same gift, but typically, in other words, if you can give away that same gift, then you can give the same gift in this campaign and that campaign and that campaign. So this is something that can apply to each and every campaign without having to create a new campaign. So these are extreme time savers. What I'm sharing with you as far as my bonus tip, this actually comes under the heading of what I call Blitz Marketing. If you have experience as an internet marketer, I will leave a link below to Blitz Marketing. What it's going to do is help you to create 5, 10, or 15, or 20, literally between 10 and 20 campaigns at the same time. But if you are not experienced, then before you go to Blitz Marketing, may I strongly suggest that you go to my level 1, which is essentially for beginners. And so these are literally secrets. Now, a lot of times a secret is just something that's lesser known. And to the best of my knowledge, this is not lesser known. This is something that the other guys just haven't discovered yet. I was fortunate enough to run into what I call the stone wall. In other words, I felt like, my gosh, I got to make a new campaign for everything that I do. That's terrible. That takes me all kinds of time. How can I make any money if I'm spending all my time creating? I need to be spending it on marketing. So one of the main things that I do that is different is that I try to help you to focus on the marketing, and then I try to show you things like using that thank you or success page over and over again with either no change or very little change, which saves you time, not so you can goof off, so you can spend that time on marketing. Because marketing is what's going to make all this happen. Let me also remind you to hit that like button, smash that like button, leave a comment, and that way you'll qualify for the shout out drawing. If this is the kind of information that is of help to you, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, and that way you're not going to miss out on these videos. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it, and allow me to wish you much success.